It was a drizzly morning when the automatic doors of St. Mercy Hospital swished open, letting in a gust of cool air and a figure that immediately caught the attention of the bustling front desk. It wasn't a typical patient or a frantic visitor. Instead, a shaggy dog, drenched from the rain, padded into the sterile, gleaming lobby, carrying a tiny trembling puppy in its mouth. The dog was a golden retriever, her fur matted and streaked with mud, and her deep brown eyes were filled with a desperation that only a few people in the room recognized. Before we start, smash the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. Nurses, patients, and visitors froze in place, the hum of conversation ceasing as everyone turned to look at the unexpected pair. The golden retriever paused for a moment, scanning the room as though she knew exactly where she needed to go. She seemed out of place, a fragile yet determined figure in the middle of an environment filled with the mechanical beeps of monitors and the sharp tang of disinfectant. Then, as if following some invisible compass, the dog headed toward the nurse's station. Mara, a nurse with 20 years of experience, was the first to react. She had seen everything in her career, traumas, miracles, heartbreak, but this was new. "What on earth?" she murmured, her hands hovering above the keyboard of her computer. As the dog drew closer, Mara noticed the tiny puppy in her jaws was whimpering softly, its small body limp and fragile. "Someone call animal control," another nurse muttered, clearly uneasy. But Mara silenced them with a sharp wave of her hand. "No," she said firmly. "Not yet. Let's see what's going on here." The dog stopped right in front of the desk, placing the puppy gently on the floor. For a moment, the room held its breath. The mother nudged the puppy with her nose and let out a low, pleading whine that sent a shiver down Mara's spine. Mara crouched down, her instincts as a nurse and an animal lover kicking in. She reached out a cautious hand, and the golden retriever allowed her to examine the tiny bundle of fur. The puppy's breathing was shallow, its fur soaked and muddy, and its eyes barely open. It was clear the little one was in trouble. Tears pricked Mara's eyes as she took in the scene. "She brought him here," Mara whispered, her voice breaking. "She knew we could help." The dog barked once softly as if affirming Mara's words. It was a sound filled with both urgency and trust, a sound that seemed to carry the weight of the mother dog's hope. Mara scooped up the puppy carefully, cradling it against her chest. The mother watched her every move, her tail wagging faintly but her eyes still clouded with worry. "Let's take them to exam room 3, Mara said, her voice steady now. She motioned to a younger nurse, Eva, who had been standing nearby. "Grab a blanket and call Dr. Larkin. Tell him it's urgent." Eva nodded and hurried off, and Mara led the golden retriever and her puppy down the hall. Other staff members and patients watched them go, a mix of curiosity and disbelief in their expressions. It wasn't every day that a dog walked into a hospital seeking help. In the quiet of exam room 3, Mara placed the puppy on the examination table. The mother dog sat by her side, her eyes never leaving the tiny form of her child. Dr. Larkin arrived moments later, a tall man with kind eyes and a calm demeanor. He took one look at the scene and immediately set to work, his hands gentle but precise as he examined the puppy. "Severe dehydration and hypothermia," he said after a few minutes. "We need to warm him up and get some fluids in him fast." Mara nodded, already moving to grab the necessary supplies. The mother dog watched intently, her ears perking up whenever the puppy made the faintest sound. She seemed to understand that these humans were trying to help, and her trust in them was palpable. As they worked, Mara couldn't help but wonder about the story behind this extraordinary moment. Where had the dog come from? How had she known to bring her puppy to a hospital? The questions swirled in her mind, but there was no time to dwell on them. The priority was saving the puppy's life. Hours passed, and the once fragile puppy began to show signs of improvement. His breathing steadied, and his tiny body, wrapped in a warm blanket, no longer shivered uncontrollably. The mother dog, who had been sitting quietly in the corner, stood and approached the table when Mara stepped aside. She nuzzled the puppy gently, her tail wagging for the first time since she had arrived. "Looks like he's going to make it," Dr. Larkin said with a smile, wiping his hands on a towel. The tension in the room eased, replaced by a collective sense of relief. Mara felt tears welling up again, this time from sheer gratitude. As they prepared to discharge the pair, the mystery of the dog's journey began to unravel. A young woman named Sophia, who had come to the hospital for a routine checkup, recognized the golden retriever as she passed by the exam room. "That's Luna!" she exclaimed. She's my neighbor's dog." Sophia explained that Luna belonged to an elderly man named Walter who lived a few blocks from the hospital. Walter had fallen ill recently and neighbors had been helping care for his dogs, but no one had noticed that Luna had given birth to a litter of puppies a few days ago. Mara listened intently, her heart aching at the thought of Luna's determination. The golden retriever had not only sensed her puppy was in danger, but had somehow figured out where to go for help. It was a testament to the incredible bond between animals and humans. A bond built on instinct, trust, and love. The hospital staff contacted Walter, who was overwhelmed with gratitude when he learned what had happened. "She's always been a smart dog," he said when he arrived to pick up Luna and her puppy. "But this is beyond anything I could have imagined." As Walter hugged Luna, tears streaming down his face, Mara felt a profound sense of awe. She had spent years caring for human patients, but this day had reminded her of the universality of compassion and the resilience of love. The story of Luna and her puppy quickly spread, touching the hearts of everyone who heard it. For Mara and the staff at St. Mercy Hospital, it was a day that reaffirmed why they had chosen a profession rooted in caring for others, no matter the species. Luna's actions had reminded them all that sometimes, in the face of desperation, love finds a way to bridge gaps, heal wounds, and bring hope to the most unexpected places. As Luna and her puppy were reunited with Walter, the atmosphere in St. Mercy Hospital shifted. Staff members who had initially been shocked by the dog's sudden appearance now buzzed with admiration and awe. Even as Luna and her tiny pup were carefully escorted out, the sense of something extraordinary lingered in the air, inspiring quiet conversations among patients and visitors alike. In the days following the event, Mara found herself replaying the scene in her mind. She couldn't shake the image of Luna standing so courageously in the middle of the hospital lobby, rain-soaked but resolute. There was something deeply profound about the moment, a silent message of trust and instinct. Luna hadn't needed words to communicate. Her actions spoke volumes. It was as though she had transcended the boundaries of species to ask for help in the only way she knew how. For Mara, it was a powerful reminder of why she had chosen a career in care, to meet vulnerability with kindness and strength. Luna's visit sparked an unexpected ripple effect throughout the hospital and beyond. Mara noticed a shift in the attitudes of her colleagues, subtle yet meaningful. The story of the golden retriever and her puppy had become a source of inspiration, a reminder of resilience and the simple, universal need for compassion. Nurses began taking extra moments with patients, their empathy renewed by Luna's silent plea. Even those who had felt jaded by the weight of their responsibilities found a renewed sense of purpose. It was as though Luna had rekindled something they hadn't realized they had lost. Meanwhile, Walter's phone rang incessantly as neighbors and strangers alike reached out to express their amazement and offer support. People brought supplies for Luna and her litter of puppies, ensuring they had everything they needed for a comfortable recovery. Local veterinarians volunteered free checkups and vaccinations for the puppies, touched by Luna's remarkable act. Walter, a quiet man who had mostly kept to himself, found his home filled with laughter and warmth as visitors came by to meet Luna and her puppies. The story had become a beacon of hope, a reminder of the incredible connections that could arise in moments of vulnerability. One particularly rainy evening, a local journalist knocked on Walter's door. The story of Luna and her heroic journey to the hospital had captured the public's imagination, and the journalist wanted to share it far and wide. Walter, initially hesitant, agreed to an interview. "She's just a dog," he said, stroking Luna's head as she lay at his feet. "But she's taught us all something about what it means to care for one another." The article, published a few days later, became an instant sensation. It wasn't just a tale of an extraordinary dog. It was a story of love, resilience, and the quiet heroism found in the most unassuming places. Luna became a local celebrity, and her puppies, now thriving, were adopted by loving families who promised to keep their story alive. For Mara, life returned to its usual pace at St. Mercy Hospital. But Luna's memory remained vivid. Every time she looked at the front doors, she could almost picture the determined golden retriever walking in, her eyes filled with hope. It reminded her that moments of extraordinary connection could happen anywhere, even on the rainiest of mornings. If you liked this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, leave your comments below and tell us, what are your thoughts on a dog entering a hospital with a puppy? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.